Hi everyone. Title of today's video is How I Felt on Day 7 of a 10-day fast. Obviously you see I'm smiling. That's a put-on smile actually. Well, first we should do a progress report. If you followed us and you were here last week, you know that I planned on doing a 10-day fast after the holidays to kind of see if I could push through that set point that we talked about. A week or two ago, and kind of get moving towards my goal again. So I thought, I could do a 10-day fast, right? So my body weight today, I was at 169. So after day 7, we're actually halfway through day 8 right now. We're at noontime, and I've lost, just about 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Which I have lost without fasting before.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to make of that, and we are getting some really interesting readings, along with that too.
Yeah, and we should say you went up a little bit after the holiday.
I did. I was at like 171, I think, and I went up almost to 175. Had that darn Japanese food with that.
Yeah.
It was really good seafood and vegetables. But it could have had something in that light sauce that was on it. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't know why we had that little bump up there, but that was kind of the starting point of your
well, actually,
fast.
it's kind of interesting because I'm kind of glad we did that because the day that I started, then Wednesday morning when I started, I was actually at 0.0 ketones, which I've never been before.
Yeah.
So I was like at rock bottom now.
Yeah, something happened with that meal. We will not be going back for that.
Right.
Anyway, and you didn't choose poorly. You chose protein.
I thought I did.
Yeah, but so as he said, it was 0 ketones. Well, that has not been the case over the days. Your ketones have been skyrocketing, and if you follow us, you know Keith does not have skyrocketing ketone numbers, and often has the dawn effect, which means that his glucose is often very high in the morning. None of that on this fast.
Yeah, and crazy numbers.
Crazy numbers, and in fact, we're going to have Keith test his ketones and glucose.
Yep,
on
we'll do them both.
Camera here today. This is around noontime that we're shooting this.
Yeah, so I test AM, noon, and PM every day, and I've tracked it, and I've got some really nice looking graphs.
Yep, which we'll present next week.
Next week we'll have all that data, and we can kind of talk a little bit more about what we think is going on during this fast.
Yep.
So
you want to do that first?
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready here, and we'll go ahead and test.
So while you're getting ready, why don't you tell people how you've been feeling?
Yeah, so it's funny because in the in the literature and in like Dr. Fung's fasting book and in a lot of the just kind of the anecdotal stuff, people often say that after day 4 or 5 they would get a real boost in energy and they feel really good. I was pretty fatigued yesterday. Yes. Yesterday was day 7. Not to the point that I couldn't do anything, but I mean I'd be seeing patients and in between patients I'd go sit down at my desk and it was just kind of like just kind of sit back in my chair. It wasn't my typical energy level, so I was definitely feeling a decrease in energy. I have no explanation for that. I really don't know.
Tell us quickly about hunger. Where's hunger been?
My hunger has not been bad. Yeah, that's been okay. And I mean, you have your meals, and I'm typically sitting right there, right? And I do have bone broth in the evening. I think we talked about that before. It amounts to about 40 calories in the evening, just to get the electrolytes and that. So that does kind of take a little bit of edge off because I warm it up and sip it, and it's good. We watch some TV at night, and it's like you could not believe how many food commercials there are on at night. So
yes, it heightens your awareness.
I am certainly more aware.
Yes. So you're going to check your ketones or glucose first?
I'm going to do ketones first.
All right. And I will say, as we're waiting for that, it's challenging as a spouse. Now, my challenge is nowhere near yours. To eat in front of you, watch you go through this. It's
yeah. See where we're at today. All right, 5.1. So I don't know if you can see that. We do have another camera on here, so that we'll be able to record that. So 5.1. Now, last night I was 5.8.
Yes.
This morning I was 5.3.
Yes.
5 is a high number, super high number for me. Ridiculously high
Unprecedented number. In fact, usually you're ecstatic if you get into the 1 point.
Yeah, I have a hard time getting to 1.
Yeah.
So we'll check my glucose here. My glucose has been pretty low over the last couple of times. Oh, it's up to 66. So this morning I was at 45. Last night I was at 44. Which could explain a lot of how I was feeling.
Yes, that was a crazy, intimidatingly low number, to the point where if you had decided that this was enough, or you were experiencing shakiness or sweating or anything
Right.
like that, I would be fine with you stopping at
Right.
that point.
I haven't experienced any of that.
Right.
But with the numbers last night when I got home, it was 5.8 and 44. I was a little bit concerned with that, and I was contemplating, maybe the last couple of days of this fast, I have 300 calories of protein in the morning, and almost call it like an OMAD, just to make sure that I'm not, dipping too far. But it's interesting. It came back up, so don't know why it came back up. So again, we're going to go through all the data next week when we get done with this, and we'll fill you in on how everything ended, and talk about maybe how I broke the fast, because that's something we've been talking about, because we think that that's going to be important too, introducing that first bit of solid food after 10 days.
Yeah.
So
we will bring you that. I will tell you, this has not been a walk in the park, and this is not something to take lightly either. We tend to feel that we have a grasp on your metabolism and been following you for so long. But if you're thinking about doing an extended fast and you are on medications, particularly if you're on medications for diabetes, you need to be very careful with doing an extended fast.
very careful.
Yeah.
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 So we'll be back next week, and we'll catch you up on the final results and where my weight, where my body fat, where our numbers, all that stuff, how everything plays out. We've got a couple days left here, 2.5, 3 days.
Yep.
And
Yay.
yay.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you.